Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is February 21st, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see our little low pressure system that could continue to spread moisture back up over the area today. This will be wrapping up by tomorrow, though. Then we're going to get a few dry days, and a big pattern change will be on its way. Here's Western Alaska. Our polar lobe is out here right now. Remember that area, and when we start looking at the weather model maps here in a moment, you can see our cutoff low developing here. It's going to remain out over the Pacific Ocean over the next few days as well. Taking a closer look here, you can see the spin in the atmosphere here and the visible satellite, the Doppler radar overlay spilling some moderate precipitation at times back up over the region here, and some mountain snow, even some of that getting east of the mountains. But this will be wrapping up as we go through the day tomorrow. Now, taking a look at the Doppler radar, also you can kind of see how this is going to evolve during the day today, and it should be wrapping up as we go on into tomorrow morning, except for southwest BC. Finally wrapping up during the day tomorrow. Cutoff low out over the California coastline here, and then we wait for that pattern change. But we are going to get a couple dry days here, so enjoy that before the huge pattern change comes rolling in here, and I'll show you that here in a moment. 1 through 3 overall winter storm impacts, so just some minor impacts over the next couple of days, but this is going to be changing as we go through this weekend into early next week, with some major impacts almost certainly incoming here for the Cascades of Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia. Then off the Blue Mountains and the Rocky Mountains as well, some big snowfalls are incoming. And if you guys want a nice affordable home weather station with a lightning detection system on it, stores all the data for you in the cloud. Click on that link down below to save 10% off. Highly recommend that station. Now, Spokane is talking about the significant pattern change here. So we've got a lot of cold air aloft, and the mountain snow machine is going to be in full force here. Still some uncertainty in the exact timing and how much snow is going to fall, but there's even a little bit of chance for some lower elevation snowfall depending on how things line up. We'll be going over that a little bit today and over the next few days as well. Here's our low pressure system right off the coastline there, weakening and filling. There's the cutoff blow for California. Polar lobe swings through northern Canada, and then we get our hammer blow here out of the north, just engulfing the Pacific Northwest. Major pattern change, big cold air aloft incoming, and then it throws a lot of cold air back over the Gulf of Alaska as well. We would have windstorm potential through the extended forecast all the way on in through early March. We'll continue to watch that as we go day by day also. So this is the European, the 12Z run. I waited to put out this video so we could look at this data. You can see the cutoff low off the coastline. There's the first polar lobe. And then you can see this just ushering in that very cold air mass into the Pacific Northwest here. And then you'll see there's pretty good agreement with that cold air spilling out over the Gulf of Alaska on the European and the GFS through the extended forecast there. So there's windstorm potential with that as well. I'll be looking forward to that and seeing how that evolves here over the next couple of days. But we've also got some wind potential with this initial pattern change incoming here. There's the first polar lobe there, and then you can see our deep low sets up over British Columbia here. The GFS with a very dynamic low, very powerful pressure gradient on the south side would bring very intense westerlies down the Strait of Juan de Fuca as this system moves through, and big mountain snows, very cold air aloft associated. And then you can kind of see this Arctic high sagging across British Columbia and Alberta as we go on in through next week. Now let's look at 5,000 feet, and you can see the wind's direction actually. You can see the low pressure system spinning off the coastline. And by the way, this is the European on the left, this is GFS on the right. Those are both 12Z runs, hot off the presses. Cutoff low spins off the coast of California. Polar lobe swings through northern Canada here, and then we get our pattern change. Look at that cold air just arrive like a freight train into the Pacific Northwest here. Very cold air settles down across BC and down into Alberta, and some of this Arctic air tries to spill off the coastline and right back into Washington. We could have some dynamic convergence zone activity going on here. We got thunder snow potential. We got big mountain snow potential coming in here, and continue that off into the future. And then we got cold air spilling out over the Gulf of Alaska. So it looks like a wild time coming up here as we go on in through early March. I want to show you in the meantime, here's that little low spinning off the coastline. Some blustery conditions as we go through tomorrow morning. That's wrapping up. Cutoff low over California. Then watch the onshore flow arrive as we go on in through Sunday. Look at some of these westerly surges down the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Chehalis Gap, some powerful convergence zone activity, really enhancing some of the snowfall across the higher terrain and maybe even bringing a bit down to the lower elevations. And as we scroll on into Monday here, some of that might get down towards the central Puget Sound as well. And you could have some thunder snow. There could be some lightning associated, a lot of cold air aloft and strong convergence at the surface there. You cannot rule it out. And then you see as we go through Monday night into Tuesday morning, some Fraser River outflow starts to flow down over the area as well, trying to usher in some cold air. Could have some interesting convergence zone action with that as well. Now looking at lightning flash density potential, let's scroll all the way through here. So we're going to go all the way out towards Sunday coming up here in a moment. And you can see that we're going to be going into Monday, and you can see some of this lightning potential here here across the Pacific Northwest with the arrival of this colder air. And that would time up with that convergence zone activity across the central Puget Sound there as well. So you cannot rule out like snow pellets or small hail and thunder and lightning ongoing out there on the day Monday. We'll continue to watch that day by day. It's just kind of a fantasy forecast what we're looking at right there, right? But we do have the potential for it. Now, looking at the National Blend of Models, over the next couple of days, you can see a few inches here. I mean, we're not talking about a lot. And then we get a couple dry days, but look at that. Did you see that? Look at that as we go through Sunday into Monday. Just the snow machine absolutely gets cranking here as we go through next week. And as you can see, we're not painting a big lower elevation snowfall right now. And I still see some hype being spread around social media about that. We don't see that just yet. We can't rule it out, but let's pump the brakes on that for now. And we'll continue to watch it here for the potential over the next couple of days. Now, this is looking at the GFS. This is accumulated positive snow depth change. So this is not the actual amount of snowfall that falls. This is just the actual snow depth change. So it's kind of interesting here. And you can see we could really be adding to the snowpack here as we go through next week, and then maybe some systems on and through the end of next week as well. But some pretty impressive adding to the snowpack likely incoming here. And it does show a little bit of teasing for some lower elevation snowfall, but not a lot of it right now. We'll continue to revisit that day by day. Here's the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Clearly, you can see the below average signal here across the west. And let's go ahead and do the 8 to 14 day. And you can see it across the west all the way through March 5th here also. And this, this pattern change is going to be so beneficial to our mountains. You can see we are below average across the entire state of Washington. Some areas below 50%. Look at the Olympic Mountains, only at a third. Definitely some good snowfall incoming here. So that will be beneficial. And look at this. Oregon is not that bad right now, but this will be beneficial to them as well. And same thing for Idaho, especially the northern panhandle here is quite a ways below average, as is BC. So BC is going to get some nice snowfall out of this as well. So looking forward to that. British Columbia. I know some of the actual snow is like about 20% of normal according to the British Columbia snow report there. So hopefully we can, start to bump those numbers up here as we go towards the end of the month on into early March. But yeah, big pattern change incoming here, folks. We're going to be paying a lot of attention to that as we go through the day tomorrow. We'll be trying to nail down some of those individual details and try to see if there's any lower elevation snowfall potential here across the Pacific Northwest. How much mountain snow are we going to get? How long is this going to hold on? Do we have windstorm potential in the future as this cold air spills out in over the Gulf of Alaska through the extended? A lot of stuff to watch. Crazy stuff incoming here, folks. Looks like a very active pattern as we go through the early portion of March. So anyway, leave some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, we'll just continue to do this day by day. What else? So hopefully you guys are enjoying that little rainfall out there right now. I'm going to go walk the dog here in a minute, so I'll probably run into that moderate rain. I better put the rain jacket on. But yeah, we're going to get a couple dry days here, so enjoy that. Friday and Saturday shouldn't be too bad, but that pattern change is going to come in here pretty quick. So anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'll talk to you guys then.